this game was developed by Square-Enix and Indo Studios. Now, this reboot to the Tomb Raider franchise acts as kind of a new direction that they want to take the character, in which it's more plays out as a coming-of-age story. Now, Lara Croft is on an expedition with a couple of other people on their way to an island in order to do some, exploring and learn more about this mysterious island. But however, on the way to this island, the ship that they're on is hit by a major storm, which kind of breaks up the ship into multiple pieces and separates Lara Croft from her crew. And from that point on, it's really a battle of survival with really very few moments to slow down. Now, the greatest addition to this story is Lara Croft herself. It's really interesting to see her develop from an innocent girl to becoming the truly ultimate badass survivor that she will end up becoming at the end of the game. In several moments throughout this game, you will constantly see her self-doubt herself. Well, she'll say, she can't do this, and, she's afraid. But it's really inspiring to see her push through that despite the challenges that, come her way. And by the end of the game, you truly feel happy in a gamer sense to have helped her on this journey from becoming someone who didn't think she could do anything to becoming an ultimate survivor who was capable of anything. Now, in terms of gameplay, I'm sure many of you could tell, if you've played the Uncharted series, it does play a lot like that. However, there's a much more larger variety in terms of gameplay styles. Now, in terms of combat, you're stuck to using about 5 weapons, which you could use. That axe, which is much more of a melee weapon, there's shotgun, pistol, machine gun, and a bow. All these weapons can be customized by gathering salvage parts, which you will collect throughout the entire island. And these parts can then be put towards any gun or weapon of your choice in order to, increase magazine size, bullet penetration, add scopes, add grenade launchers, just a very large variety of customizations which could help you really push towards a certain scenario when it presents itself. Now, in my opinion, the most effective weapon was the bow. This bow, when it is fully upgraded, has so many uses and in so many different scenarios. You can either fire standard arrows, you can fire arrows, you can fire arrows that explode, you can fire arrows that have a rope which can impale people, and then you can actually pull them off of cliffs or pull them off of ledges, which is so funny to do. And it really encouraged you to approach the game in a much more stealth-orientated direction than Uncharted's straight up, blow up, shoot everything in sight, cause as much noise, and just go in like a human tank. And in terms of the stealth element, it's much more rewarding because as you will take down enemies, you'll gain experience, which will then allow you to upgrade certain traits with Lara Croft's character, including, increasing hunter abilities, health, and just really increase her own personal status of how she will gain experience and take on certain combat scenarios. Now, in terms of extras, there are tombs which have these puzzles which will allow you to gain even more, very higher levels of experience. And there are relics and journals which allow you to learn more about the island and the characters that you are traveling with. Now, it's not to say that this game is perfect, as in there are a couple of issues in terms of frame rate issues if you've played on the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox from what I've heard. And there are a couple of glitches which may cause the game to freeze or may cause Lara Croft to go through like a certain solid object. And on the cinematic side, the only problem I have with the story is that the other characters outside of the character Roth aren't really developed. They just kind of have stereotypical personalities, and if, their characters were fleshed out more, then I think, even from Lara Croft's standpoint, you would actually care more about these characters when they get into a situation. Now, I don't mean to crap all over Uncharted, but if you are a big fan of Uncharted, then, I think you'll very much enjoy Tomb Raider, but in my opinion, whatever Uncharted did right, Tomb Raider simply does more, because it's not on a such linear path in terms of storytelling and gameplay. It's much more on a wider, open world setting, which allows you to really get to point A to point B in multiple paths instead of just going straight down like a hallway or through a certain building or a certain scenario. And in terms of character development, it's just much more believable to see Lara Croft change from the beginning to the end. So, in a whole, I'm happy to give Tomb Raider a 9.5 out of 10. Definitely a must-own for anyone who's a fan of the Uncharted franchise and a fan of action-adventure games and is just looking for something which might inspire another game franchise to come out and try a little bit more variety than sticking to their linear path. If you like this game review, please like, comment down below, and please subscribe to track me in my future movie and video game reviews. And like always, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.